Pachi. Don't diet, just cook. It's going to be the new podcast Chef Pachi is going to have for all of you. People can come. It's going to be Q&A with the questions they want. Hopefully, I can answer them. I have more than 60 years of life, to say the least, and of those, more than 40 of working with food and studying. For now, I want to teach you how to begin to cook without taking out so much time. That's what all of my recipes are geared towards. My Colombian recipes started to be made in an Instapot that was called a power pressure cooker 10 years ago when it just came out. And that way I started creating recipes so that everybody could cook them with very little time and also keep some frozen so that they don't have to be in the kitchen every day. Here, for example, I have some pork. It's a pork fillet that's been seasoned and has been vacuum packed for whenever I need it. And whenever I want it, I just defrost it underwater or leave it in the fridge overnight. And that's it. Stick it in the oven. Add something else if I want to. But it's ready. And I wanted to show you this one because I season pork and poultry in the same way. Now we're going to start with a piece of chicken breast. The first thing we do is we remove the extra fat. And you can remove the skin or not. This one came without the skin. And sometimes when you buy chicken that has been from a farm, it comes with pieces of fat. It might come with a little bone in the back. You just touch it and make sure there's nothing hard there. Then what we do, we slice it in half in the thickest part. You can probably see that there's a thick part and there's a thin part to the breast. And then sometimes it's stuck here is the breast of the breast. Let me show it to you. This is it. And what I use it for is to make chicken kebabs. And they're perfect because every breast has one of these. So, as I said before, we are going to slice our chicken from the thickest part out. But since I'm going to get my hands dirty and I don't want all the herbs to get dirty, I am going to do this and get some of that thyme from the pack so I don't get my thyme dirty with raw chicken. So there we have our thyme. And like you saw, dry herbs are so easy to use. You take out the little sticks and that's it. Now, there is a secret to my seasoning chicken. You can add salt and pepper in the seasoning of poultry. It's going to be perfect. And you can leave it out because maybe whoever is going to eat in your house uses less salt or likes to add the salt at the end. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to slice it. Then we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, the herbs, and then our magic ingredient with white meats, that is yogurt. Yogurt has the acidity of many foods that keep your breast and your white meat of pork very moist. The same way that maybe pineapple and papaya do with red meats, yogurt does for chicken. So here we go. We're going to cut our breast in half. Why? Because we want it to absorb the largest quantity of seasoning, and it's going to be here. Now we're going to use 1 spoonful without touching our chicken for inside and 1 for the outside. Let's add the herbs, little bit of salt, because remember this is inside and you don't want it to be super salty, and a tiny bit of pepper. That's it. Now we close it up. No mystery, nothing strange. Close it up and do the same thing on the outside. Add the yogurt, a little bit of pinch of salt, the pinch of pepper, and our dry herbs that we can do something I'm going to show you at the end. So we mix our salt, pepper, and yogurt, place it all over our breast, and then if we want to add the spices, you can just pick up the ones that are in your cutting board. And voila, here you have your beautifully seasoned chicken breast ready to be packed and taken to the refrigerator or the freezer. It will refrigerate for 3 days, or it will freeze for months if it's well sealed. I usually freeze my foods in the slimmest container possible, and these are the slimmest glass containers I've been able to find. So I am going to place my breast right there. And there's another secret. What if you want to make breaded chicken the day that you defrost your chicken and you don't want to wait all the time until the center is defrosted? Then what you can do is, let me add some herbs to the bottom. Remove the little sticks. And those tiny herbs are delicious. They're going to give us an aroma to the kitchen. What we can do if we want to bread it later, and you're going to see the breading that I use that is with oats and some Parmesan cheese, which you can use vegan, herbs, always, all the time, and ground nuts. But going back to the chicken, if you want to use it for something like that, all you have to do is open it up and freeze it like this. That way, when you freeze it this way, it is going to defrost very, very easily. Let's add the rest of these ingredients here and here so we don't waste any of those delicious flavors. And I'm going to show you the already packed and seasoned chicken breast. And if your container can hold 2, you can add a piece of parchment paper and place the second breast. The second breast, when you add it, do the opposite. Put the end on the front of the chicken breast and the other one first, because this one is still a little bit thicker, and then you even out your container. You can do this, and then voila, we are ready to freeze. You can do this. It takes less than 5 minutes if you buy your fresh poultry and do, I don't know, 10 chicken breasts at a time. If you're 4 in the family, go for 12. If they're young kids, they might not eat a whole one. And so with the rest of the food. You only need to cook every once in a week, maybe. 1 week you do the poultry, the other you do the seafood, the other you do the meat, and the other you do the pork. Then the last 2, or the first 2 if you're vegan, is all your legumes and seasoning your soy. Freeze and go. Eat every time. Delicious food. Guaranteed to be lower in calories than anything you eat and much higher in flavor. At home, we can use the ingredients you want to use, not the ingredients that have to be bought in bulk. So, don't diet, just cook with Chef Pachi.